Caitlin Clark's first footage in the European League hit the internet like wildfire. Fans across the globe were taken by surprise, especially those from the WNBA, who already held her in high regard. Clark, with her smooth jump shot and no-look passes, wasn't just competing, she was electrifying the court in ways few expected. This wasn't just a transition to European basketball. It was more like a debut performance, a grand entrance into a new chapter of her career that left everyone buzzing. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. The first clip that surfaced didn't need much commentary. It showed Clark pulling up from deep with her signature swagger, hitting a three-pointer from what looked like another zip code. The crowd gasped, not just in disbelief, but in sheer admiration of her range. European basketball, known for its tactical style, had never seen anything quite like this. Clark wasn't just bringing her game to Europe. She was bringing a sense of boldness that felt almost foreign to the system. The kind of audacity to take and make. Those kinds of shots with ease left everyone, from players to fans, wide-eyed. What made this footage even more fascinating was Clark's composure. Many players, especially young ones, struggle when they cross borders and step into unfamiliar basketball landscapes. But not Caitlin. She looked right at home, as though she'd been playing on those courts her entire life. Her footwork was crisp, her decision-making sharp, and her ball handling downright mesmerizing. Every dribble seemed to command attention, and when she made a move, the defense froze, as if unsure whether to back off or challenge her inevitable shot. The European defenders, renowned for their disciplined style, were being put in a blender. Some of them probably wished they had a manual for guarding someone like Clark, though it's doubtful such a guide even exists. The reaction from WNBA fans was priceless. People who had watched Clark dominate in the U.S. knew what she was capable of, but seeing it unfold on a European stage made them feel like proud parents watching their kid ace a test in a new school. Social media exploded with comments, with fans praising her performance and some even joking that Europe wasn't ready for Clark range. The term Clark range had become a thing back in the States, used to describe those impossibly long-distance shots that only someone with her confidence would dare take. Now, Europe was getting a first-hand look at what that meant. Her first game highlights were rewatched millions of times within hours of their release. It wasn't just her scoring that caught everyone's attention, but also her passing. Caitlin's court vision was on full display, finding open teammates in impossible angles. One moment she was orchestrating a fast break, and the next, she was zipping a pass behind her back to a trailing teammate for an easy bucket. It was like watching a magician at work. Her ability to create opportunities out of thin air had spectators on their feet, and even her teammates seemed surprised at the ease with which she dished out assists. But what made the whole experience even better was Caitlin herself. She wasn't just a highlight machine. She had personality, the kind that made fans instantly connect with her. Her playful smirk after sinking a long-range bomb, or the way she winked at a teammate after threading a needle pass, showed that she wasn't just serious about winning, but she was having fun while doing it. Basketball wasn't a job for her, it was a joy, and that joy was contagious. Fans could feel it, and even though many of them weren't sitting in the arena, watching on screen was enough to catch the buzz. Clark was bringing a much-needed freshness to European basketball, where things could sometimes feel overly technical and measured. She played with freedom, something both exciting and unpredictable. For the European fans, many of whom had only heard of Caitlin Clark through whispers of her American exploits, this was a moment of realization. They were seeing, perhaps for the first time, why she had been hyped so much in the States. Her crossover into the European League wasn't just a player transfer. It felt like a culture shift. European basketball tends to emphasize system play, passing, and calculated shots. But Clark brought an element of chaos, in the best way possible. She wasn't reckless, but she was unorthodox, and that threw everyone off balance. The energy in the arena was palpable. Every time Caitlin touched the ball, there was a sense of anticipation, almost like the crowd was collectively holding its breath. Even the opposition fans, who had come to root for their team, found themselves cheering for her after one of her jaw-dropping moves. It wasn't that they wanted their team to lose, but how could you not appreciate the kind of brilliance Caitlin Clark was putting on display? She had the crowd in the palm of her hand, controlling the tempo, not just with her dribbles but with her charisma. The game became about more than just the score. It was about witnessing something special unfold. There was one sequence in the footage that had fans particularly in awe. Clark was at the top of the key, and with a quick glance, she saw a defender cheating toward her. Without hesitation, she threw a no-look pass to a cutting teammate for an easy layup. The pass was so slick that the defender didn't even realize what had happened until the ball was already in the net. The crowd roared. This wasn't just basketball, it was theater, and Caitlin Clark was the main act. What made this moment even more significant was how it seemed to unite two basketball worlds. For years, there had been this idea that European basketball and American basketball were distinct entities, each with its own style, pace, and flair. But here was Caitlin Clark, blending the best of both. Her game was flashy yet fundamentally sound, aggressive yet controlled. She embodied everything that fans love about basketball, no matter which continent they were from. It was a crossover moment in more ways than one, and everyone felt it. The buzz wasn't limited to the arena or even just Europe. WNBA fans, glued to their screens back in the States, were floored. They had known Clark as a college sensation, and later as a WNBA star in the making, but now they saw her breaking through international barriers, and it was thrilling. Social media lit up with reactions. Fans tweeted about how Europe wasn't prepared, how Caitlin was out there making defenders look lost, and how her no-look passes could start a highlight reel on their own. It wasn't just hype. It was genuine admiration for someone who was pushing the boundaries of what was possible in the game. Yet, for all the excitement, there was also a sense of inevitability. Fans who had followed Clark from her college days at Iowa knew that this was just the beginning. She was the kind of player who wasn't bound by limitations, geographical, tactical, or otherwise. Watching her debut in Europe was exciting, yes, but it also felt like the next logical step in her evolution. There was always something about her game that screamed global, and now the world was catching up. What's remarkable is how Caitlin carried herself throughout all of this. She didn't seem fazed by the new environment, the different style of play, or even the heightened expectations. If anything, she thrived on it. After making a big play, her face didn't show pressure, it showed joy. Her body language screamed confidence without crossing into arrogance. She played loose but not careless, and that balance made her even more thrilling to watch. Every moment was unpredictable, not just because of her skill, but because of the way she approached the game with a kind of reckless precision. It was like watching someone dance along the edge of a cliff, knowing they wouldn't fall but still holding your breath. As the footage continued to circulate online, there was one thing that became crystal clear. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a player anymore. She was a spectacle. She was someone who transcended borders and appealed to basketball lovers no matter where they lived. WNBA fans were used to her brilliance, but now European fans were getting a taste, and they were hooked. The implications of this crossover were massive. Clark wasn't just making waves in Europe. She was bridging the gap between two basketball cultures that had often been viewed as distinct. Her style of play, one that mixed creativity with technical proficiency, was something both American and European fans could rally behind. There's something inherently fun about watching Caitlin Clark play basketball, and that's what had fans going wild. Her game is as much about entertainment as it is about winning, and that's what makes her so special. She can drop a long three, dish out a no-look assist, or steal the ball from an unsuspecting opponent, all while making it look effortless. But more than that, she does it with a grin, as if she's enjoying the ride just as much as everyone watching. It's this infectious energy that has captured the hearts of fans, not just in America, but now across Europe too. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.